Hey guys, I'm back with another little flip for you. This one is TUROE 1's sort of, it's a sort of mixture between a book and a zine, which is exactly the kind of stuff I love. And yeah, you're going to love it as well. What I particularly love about this is this sort of, this oldie world. So TUROE, just to give you a little bit of background about him, Bristol artist of the old school, come up through the 80s and still painting, still very active today. But like all of us who sort of came up through the 80s with zines and it all been a little bit DIY, you can see that he's including the design, even on the cover. It's all a bit sort of like gnarly and stained, and you know, I love all that. I'm crazy about that. So let's get stuck into it. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's all a bit messy. Look, he's done a bit of hand finishing here with spray paint and stuff, paint spatter and stuff, you know. A bit of sketch work there and everything. See, I do this sort of stuff. I love it. Now, what's this? Sketchbook, pencil, single, or oh god, what does this say? Black and white outlines. Full colour. Black book is full colour, double page, burners with characters. Piece book, everything outlines. White photo, info, just photos. Right, okay. TUROE. 16 to 50. Now, last time I spoke to him, he's got some of these left, so I will put a link in the description if you want to go and buy this kind of stuff. Support artists, particularly if you like a bit of old school feel. Yeah, here we go. Talking of old school feel, that's a lovely bit of old school outline. See, this stuff, I can just look at this stuff for days. Love all this south side. He's obviously painted this at some point. If I was to hazard a guess, I would say that was early 90s. That would be my guess. There's no date on it, so I'm just having to guess. Sick Kids. Love that. Great font work. Lovely K. This. Just perfect, right? Old school, you know, balance bars on the letters. Another one there. Just great sort of old school font work. Yeah, this takes me right back to the this is sort of like, this sort of styling was kind of like 87 in I mean, some people might have cracked it a little bit earlier, but most people were on this about 87. Probably my favourite, well, not even probably, definitely my favourite era of graph, UK graph. I mean, this is just great, isn't it? Absolutely love it. Oh, there's more. Inky, little tribute to Inky there. Inky, one of the first UK writers, again from Bristol. Bit of a ledge. Inky, very well known. Well, I mean, who doesn't? There's nobody on the UK scene that doesn't know Inky. You know, Inky is. He was there from pretty much word go. The Bristol scene generally, it's worth just having a comment on the Bristol scene. The Bristol scene has always been incredibly strong. So I think Inky and Chio, obviously, TUROE, and others, others too numerous to mention. But it's always been a very well supported scene. One of the reasons for that is a fella called John Nation, who I can't remember the name of the youth club. Somebody put in the comments, will you? He ran a youth club down there, and to this day does street art tours around Bristol. And John Nation supported the movement, and you know, he's got an amazing Instagram feed now. You should go and follow him. He's constantly sort of posts up old school pieces and stuff. Still supporting the movement today. And yeah, the Bristol scene has just sort of flourished over the years. Now you've got Jody and Dibs and what's the other guys? It Fade, you know, knocking out production wall after production wall over there. Just, you know, very strong scene. Look at these. Look at these for style. I tell you what, this is the sort of stuff we wanted in the 90s. We were busting for this stuff and you just couldn't really get it. It was so difficult to get. Mags and zines and stuff like that, they were so rare, you just don't know. They were, anybody who came up through that time, you know, it's like gold. I'd go down to Tower Records and Piccadilly Circus and I'd scour the shelves for hours and hours and hours trying to find anything with graph in it. They're like old Chicano, like hot rod magazines and stuff that had little bits of graph in, and I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I'd buy them, and you know, anything to get a little bit of graph. We got Hype magazine from Australia every so often, and what was the other one? I can't even remember. It's so long ago now, it's 30 odd years ago. More. See, look at all this. This is like, this is prop 86, 87, this is like proper old school. This is what people's bedrooms look like. I used to write with a guy called TUROE. He was one of my first writing. In fact, no, I think he was the first guy I ever really wrote with. And his bedroom wall, and his old man was old Bill as well, police officer. And one day we were in his bedroom and he just chucked a tag up on the wall. And I was like, are you serious? With your old fella being plod, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, who cares? So we just tagged up and we completely bombed his wall out. And other writers came around and bombed his wall. And before we knew it, you know, the whole wall was just completely caned. And yeah, his old man was not well impressed with that. But we loved it. I was doing big throwies on his wall in pens and stuff. Oh my god, the days. That was 80, end of 87 probably. Happy days. Let me tell you, happy days. If I had a time machine. These are great. Really, really cool. Oh, and he's chucked that one up as well. Lovely piece. Really lovely piece. 31st of that's July of this year. For Soka. Soka, he's another Bristol writer, great writer, super stylish. Epoch, he's another one. Deems, he's another one. He's moved to Australia now, but he was a Bristol writer. 3D, of course. God, I'm forgetting the biggest one of them all. 3D, who went on to be a founding member of Massive Attack. Lovely chrome. I've not done a chrome, you know. I've not done a chrome for probably, what was the last chrome I done? Probably 19 years, I reckon. The reason I don't do chromes, by the way, is not because I don't like chromes. It's just because if I'm going to go to the wall, I want to do something a bit more involved. That even looks like 3D. I mean, this is just, you know, this is like old school gold. I'm sorry if you're young and bored of people going on about the old school, but it was a magic time for us because all of this stuff was up for grabs. You know, we were obviously taking a lot from New York, but we're also inventing a lot on the way and trying to come up with a new twist on stuff. Great, Phil. Is that Goldie? Yeah, the Wild Criminals. So TWC was Goldie's crew. Let me have a think. Zook, Des, Goldie, Who's the other guy? Another famous writer from TWC, can't remember. That's a very Goldie fill there. Even I look at that fill and go, that's a Goldie. That's Goldie fill. Really, really like familiar, specific. That electro rock piece. Oh, where is that from? That's from somewhere, and I can't remember where. It's gonna drive me mad, isn't it? And this is presumably a Mode tribute or something. Because that's from a famous Mode piece as well. Wow, but a gnarly wild there. On the Beltons, on the Belton paper labels. Nice portrait work. Oh, so now we're into double pages, black books. When we've moved away from sketches, we're onto like big, proper like black production bits. That's cool, isn't it? That looks like a, is that a Sokum? Or Deems? Something? Don't know. Beautiful theme as well. Egyptology, all that. All bit of Breaking Bad, yeah, nice. And that's pretty cool, isn't it? Game of Thrones. Well, he's done a few, hasn't he? I mean, this is, yeah, there's a few double pages there. It's a lot of work. That's a lot of work goes into these. I don't do double pages myself. It's not a format that I particularly enjoy. I did a collab with Dibs on one once. Dibs, the Bristol writer. He does collabs with TUROE a lot, or used to. Yeah, graphy graph. Chromey graphy graph. Nice. Shite, this is one of his other names. That's a lovely thing. See, I love that. Bit of a negative cut out. Sweet, sweet. That's really nice. From sketch to chrome. See, if you're going to do a chrome as well, that's the sort of chrome you want to do, isn't it? Really super stylish chrome. What's that? April 23 last year. Nice. Touch of the old school to that tag there. Ooh, there's a lovely little cheech there. Okay, some folks. I need to do a bit more of this stuff. See, it makes me hungry for a bit more. I want to do another zine. Love zines. Yeah, great. Sketching with the biro there. The biro. The biro's got to be the most underrated tool ever. I know I said this again recently, you know. The biro is an incredibly underrated art tool. You can do amazing things with a biro. I used to sketch with biros all the time. The only problem is when I sketch with biros, I just don't work in colour. If you look at Ewan's stuff, Uncle Ewan on Instagram, he uses different coloured biros. He uses like 3 or 4 colours of biros to do the most amazing illustrations. Nice, love it. Cool. TUROE. Oh yes, and this is with Jodie. Yeah, that's some really nice work, Jodie, as well. That's a gorgeous wall, isn't it? That's a really beautiful wall. Lovely portrait of Rakim. 21. Yeah, great. as well. Look at all this. Gnarly bits of tags everywhere and stuff. Another lovely Jody piece there. Who's that? Yulo. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. A few old heads here. By the looks of them, they've all come up through the old school. Oh yes, and we've got old school stuff here. See, this is like absolute treasure. Whenever I see pieces like this, I go a bit weak at the knees, because I just remember seeing graph like this back then. It was like, in the days when you couldn't really get magazines, there was no Instagram, no internet, no nothing. You had to find it in real life, and when you found it, it was just incredible. And I couldn't paint like that in '87. You know, I couldn't do it, because the guys who could paint like that in '87 have been doing it since '85. Now that piece there, I remember seeing that piece in the press, because it was published in a newspaper. It was all about how old Bill were chasing them because they'd done this piece and all that. And just remember thinking, that's a great looking piece. I saw it in black and white. Just great old school pieces. You know, we all used to paint. This is how we used to paint. You know, we used to paint in our tracky tops and our old school Adidas Gazelles and stuff like that. You know, we took all the tropes, all the New York tropes of b-boys, and that's what we did. God, it was a great time. Look at that big derelict site. There were loads of sites like that in the UK in the 80s and 90s. Well, in the 70s, of course. 70s was really poor. It was nobody had any money. And then the 80s and 90s, these areas were sort of, they've been bought up, but they were not yet developed, so they were still derelict. And so people used to break in and paint them, urban explore, all that sort of. We used to crawl over these places. We were probably the only people in the city who knew all these places, knew all the different sites and industrial sites and yards and all that sort of stuff. It was a very amazing time, and all that stuff now is because of gentrification. It's all big swanky apartment blocks and nice shiny stuff, you know. I mean, I guess it's a lot better in many ways, but I miss the old world of that. Look, like this. Guys just stood around in warehouses and stuff, painting on the insides, and yeah, amazing time. We're not going back there though. Nice, love that as well. Yeah, really cool. Really cool. Love that. TUROE 1. If you want to grab yourself a copy, go to the description. There's a link there. And go and grab yourself one, because as you can see, that is well worth a buy. Beautiful bit of work, that.